Hey guys, I am DM Zone. This is Gamer's Oasis. Let's get into this. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Lightning Bolt spell. So, this spell is unusual and has new words and terminologies that are added, just like many of the other spells. It seems this is the place they locate the changes that need to be made, and it's a bit of an odd location for such a thing. However, in this particular case, it is truly strange. So this spell is limited to a 60-foot missile, as they're referring to it, which would be 6 inches on the sand table. It is also limited to a maximum of 24 inches or 240 feet total. So if you start the missile at 20 inches out, it only goes 40 inches and then it stops. What is ironic to me about this is that the missile is only 3/4 of an inch wide. This means it does not translate well at all on a grid. Most grids are 5-foot grids. Now I've heard of some 3-foot grids, but even that is technically not 3/4 of an inch. So 1 inch is commonly referred to as 10 feet. Therefore, that would be the way it would break down. This is truly meant to be something that's done on the battlefield, or you're going to have to make some sort of adjustment. Also, the spell refers to 3/4 of an inch wide, which is maybe the incorrect wording. I kind of see it as a 3-dimensional object versus a 2-dimensional plane. I see it more as a diameter, not necessarily as a smooth cone of energy traveling through, but I could see it crawling and walking and flying through the air in sort of this circular cone that is 3/4 of an inch wide and tall, going 60 feet long. It has many of the same properties as Fireball, as it says in the book, and it refers back to chainmail. Now, it doesn't fully go into describe what that is. You have to kind of go there and then interpret what they mean by that. So I feel like the DM or the referee, however you want to word that, should know these things before the spell is cast so that they're able to make that determination. For example, if you cast it down a hallway and the hallway is 5 foot wide, how badly does it damage the hallway? Does it pull the veneer off of the wall? Does it blacken the hallway? Does it burn the wood elements? Does it knock things over? Do things in that space take more damage? Because the lightning bolt can bounce off of a solid object and do more damage. So if it's down a 5 foot wide hallway, does everything in there take double damage because it's supposed to be 3/4 of an inch wide, which is almost 10 feet wide? That's a question that the referee is probably going to have to make a decision about first. Does it make the missile twice as long? Instead of it being a 60-foot missile, does it become a 120-foot missile? Making this spell volumetric by nature, which is a phrase that is used in a different edition, but I think applies to this. So I talked about the fact that lightning bolts bounce. There is a potential for you to hit yourself or others with this spell. The question you have to ask is, if you cast it through a giant and it hits a wall and then bounces back, is that double damage? Does it hit twice? If you hit something as big as a giant or a dragon, does the spell ricochet? Does it literally hit the object and then bounce away because it's as big as a wall? I think these are things that you want to know, and I think you need to determine how exactly does it work. Does it do extra damage when it strikes metal or things in water? In my opinion, no. It doesn't say anything about that, and I think that would be problematic in the fact that certain classes and races and creature locations would be far more affected than others. I think that it's an energy like spell, so it looks like electrical, it looks like lightning, but it's technically like this non-reactive energy bolt made from magic that's actually traveling down this space. However, your mileage may vary, and if you want to turn sand into glass, I think that's a good way to go. And if you want to do an extra point of damage or something to something standing in a swamp, or have it react differently to things in the ocean, I think there's room for that. You just need to make sure you balance it with the rest of the world. Anyways, guys, did I get this wrong? Did I get it right? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Thank you. Have a good day and keep rolling those dice. Bye.